Okay. She has to have her beef jerky. This is what I have to have for my meetings.
What is that?
Hershey's Kisses.
Oh, I see.
Looks
I
like
love
money,
Hershey's
right?
Kisses. She's got the beef jerky. Come on, let's see it. Show it up close. Show your food. Albert, if there's anything you
No,
need to get it now.
no food for
You
me.
see? This is my cup. Girl boss.
Girl boss.
Okay. So the way we start our meetings, and we just started recording our meetings not that long ago because it's to realize just how valuable it is. Who wants to take meeting minutes? Who wants to read meeting minutes? Nobody. This is
Oh,
so
yeah.
much
Right.
Now the
better.
AI could summarize it, right? You got AI summarizing the meetings.
Even then, no one's going to read it. People would much rather watch a fun video, especially if the people that we talk to are just everybody's so much fun that we work with, right? This whole thing is fun. This whole thing is just getting funnier and funnier. So the way we start is let's just everybody just first introduce yourself really simply, your name, where you're located, what you do, and what year, which campus you went on. So Rose, why don't you take the lead?
Surely, is this a podcast?
No, but this is a video. Oh, we're going to share this with
Okay, sure.
this is going to
Okay.
be yet another viral. This is going to continue. This is the gift that keeps on giving. Your love story, your love boat love story is timeless. It's going viral now. It's going to go viral later, and it's going to go. I mean, you can just imagine. Okay, let's just do the introductions first, and let's talk about what's happening here. Okay, so Rose, go for it.
Okay. My name is Rose, and I am a retired X-ray tech. And right now, my life involves just keeping up my health so I could go on more vacations. And I like to do community work. And that was actually about it. And now I have added, Albert is as priority number 4. Is it 3? I don't know.
You guys are killing me. Me. Okay. All right. Rose, come a little bit closer to your camera so that the three of us look about the same size, okay? I'm a
Oh,
stickler, I'm into videography and photography, and I pay a lot of attention to the way it's all presented. And I have noticed that for all those professional podcasts that are out there, they do take good care to make sure
you're
we're all
right. No, no, no. I agree with you. It's definitely true. People's got to be the same size, level, framed, and everything.
exactly. Okay, so
So,
Albert, you're looking a little bit big there.
oh my God, lean
You gotta
back,
back up a
Albert.
little bit.
You gotta lean back.
Okay, how
Oh my
about now?
God.
How about that?
Okay, great.
Okay.
Okay, just keep on
Rose,
smiling, Albert.
Rose,
That's all.
Rose. Yeah, just keep smiling. That's what you gotta. Both of you have the most amazing smile. Okay, you guys are just radiating. Everything else, you're blinding us. Okay, you're blinding the world with your radiating. Okay, so but Rose,
Okay.
you have failed to say what else you've done in your career. People, those of us who know you in the Bay Area know everything, but new people who are going to fall upon your love story video, you need to tell us a little bit more about the stuff that your contributions to the community.
Surely.
Don't be
Okay.
so humble. You are so humble.
No, okay, I'll tell you like it is. So, I'm a native of San Francisco, Chinatown, born in the same hospital as Bruce Lee. And my mom is an immigrant. She raised 5 daughters as a widow, single mother, and I'm the youngest. And my childhood dream was to become Miss Chinatown, USA, because in our small community at that time, that was the biggest deal in the Chinese community during the Chinese New Year. So I want to be a Miss Chinatown when I was very young. And when I grew up, for some reason, the year of when I was 22 years old, I got the confidence to run for Miss Chinatown, and I won, and that changed
Wait,
the
wait, is this
trajectory of my
before
life.
or after the Love Boat? This part.
Oh, after the Love Boat, because you know why? The year before, I went to the Miss Chinatown coronation ball, and I saw the other contestants close up. As far on stage, everyone's so good. I saw them close up, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I'm just as pretty as they are." So that gave me confidence. And then on the Love Boat, I had 2 roommates who were princesses in the Miss LA Chinatown. And also Miss LA Chinatown was there on the trip too. So I said, like quietly observed.
Wait
And
a minute,
then,
wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Did you purposely get to be roommates with them, or that was just a total coincidence?
That was a total coincidence. You got roommates by how you lined up.
Oh my God, what are
They
the
gave you roommates like you
chances?
lined up, and I just happened to be the last one from San Francisco to line up with some roommates from Los Angeles, Hawaii, wherever. So I just had a diverse group of roommates.
That's not diverse. You're all Chinatown. You're all pageant people. That's not diverse. That's very
Oh no, I wasn't a
specific.
pageant girl at that time. So after watching them, my roommates, and then seeing them, I said, "Oh my God, they're so ordinary, just like me, but a little bit more, more, So that, so I got to see them. So that gave me the confidence to run. Yeah, the following year, and that's what happened, and I won, and then it forced me to come out of my shell. I was really not a very sophisticated or elegant Miss Chinatown, but I worked through the years to improve it, and then I started my own pageant in 1985, the Miss Asian California, and now it has evolved to Miss Asian Global. And now
Are you
the
still running it? Are you still
no,
running it?
last year I finally did the separation and I've passed it on to very, able young leaders who are innovative, creative, and, can see where it is more, would be more valuable and relevant to, younger women of today. Cause I'm like from 40 years ago. So they're doing things that it would be more relevant to the young women of today who are like ambitious, more knowledgeable, already accomplished.
So you passed the baton.
I have passed the baton.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just really quickly, Rose, tell us what else you've done. You've done so much in the community. First of all, you just got an award. Why don't you start with that? What was that award for?
The award was from the Chinese Consolidated Women's Association, and usually they have a Mother's Day model, model mother award. But this year they decide to have a just like give an award to someone who may not be a mother, and they had selected me, um, and it was just such a great honor to be selected, and we had a lot of fun. Hmm.
Okay, so just for the audience, I'm just going to summarize by saying Rose Chung has done a tremendous amount of work for the community in many different areas. She was president of the Chung Family Association. She was president of a gazillion other things. You can look her up. Google Rose Chung, and you'll see how much she's done. She's basically, you've
You
dedicated
know
your
what?
life.
It
You've
may it
dedicated
may
your
sound,
life.
Christine, it may sound like a lot, but you have to understand I'm 68 years old and it was a span of 50 years that I did that. Okay. When you break it down, it isn't that much.
Again, humble, which is why people just all the more reason why people love you, Rose. So I'm honored to be on this call with you. When I got your first call, I'm like, oh my God, Rose called me. I got to call her right back. She needs something. She needs something. And I'm thinking you're going to ask me something really big and important. You're like, can you tell me how many views that video got? Okay, Albert, go for it. Oh, wait. So you went
Hi.
1980. Right, you went in 1980. You were in the Gentan campus, and do you remember what group you were in, Rose? Were you the younger group or the older group?
I don't recall. I remember we're all around the same age.
How many people do you remember? How many
Three
students were?
hundred, 300, and I think that we were like about 18 to 25, our
Oh,
age
only
group.
300? When I went, there was
No, it was
1,200.
more. It was more like 400.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yes.
Rob. Okay, Albert, go for it.
Hi, my name is Albert Yee. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and my occupation is a concessionaire. I specialize in sports entertainment venues like stadiums and arenas. Um, I've been doing it for 41 years. I'm a three-time Kentucky Derby vendor. Um, I've also been a Super Bowl vendor, Super Bowl 52
Wow.
in Minneapolis. Um, I've worked at Levi Stadium, Bronco Stadium, Soldier Field, Lambeau Field, US Bank Stadium. I used to work all the Minnesota Viking home games. Currently, I'm at US Bank. I'm at American Family Field. I work all the Milwaukee Brewer home games. Also, during the winter, I'm inside the UWM Panther Arena. I do all the Milwaukee Admiral home games and indoor soccer, Milwaukee Wave. I have contracts at the Bears Center, Convention Center, um,
How big is
Yes.
your team? How big is your company? Like it sounds huge.
Oh, I I can't. I don't know exactly how many people. I have people that run it. Uh, I'm not really like on hands every day now. It's more I just help out or just assist. But it's a team of at least 30 people,
Hmm.
at
Hmm.
least. You
Hmm.
know.
So now you have more time to travel with Rose, is what you're saying.
Oh, there's it's more than just traveling with Rose, just being together with Rose. What happened to me, or what happened to us a few weeks ago is just a
A few weeks
remarkable.
ago, whoa, 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 whoa. I thought it was in April.
Yeah, April. Yes,
Oh, but it just feels like yesterday to you, is what you're saying.
yes, 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 yes. But we're making a lot of plans to be together. She's going to be coming to Milwaukee next week. I was just there last weekend where I
Yeah,
met
that's when I
you.
saw you. That's when I met you, right?
Yes,
Yes, I
and
had no idea who this man was that was sitting down with my conversation with Rose until Rose was like, "Let me tell you my story. This guy is my love boy." Um, and so,
yeah.
and how did you two meet on the trip?
Obviously we were in the same student body. Um, we didn't really converse too much in Taiwan, um, but I did notice her. I did have a liking for her, but there were so many people, so many guys that were hitting on her, and I've never been a person like that where I'll just, if it's meant to be, it will be. If it's not meant to be, it won't be. But
So you guys didn't date on the trip?
no, 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 not at Chien Tan. Where we met was post Chien Tan. When the program ended, we had a choice of either going home or extending our vacation to other parts of the world. And it just happened that I had made arrangements to visit relatives in Hong Kong, and she did also, but it was not planned. So
I
what
mean,
happened?
you didn't plan it together. The two of
No,
you
we
had
didn't.
already made arrangements to go there separately.
Correct. And it just happened that we stayed at the same hotel, and
What?
I'll never
That's another
forget.
coincidence. That's another
Yes,
coincidence. Of
I'll
all the
never.
hotels in Hong Kong,
Right, 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 right.
it was it like the most popular hotel that Gen
No,
10 kids were going to?
YMCA. YMCA.
The YMCA. Oh my gosh, this is like
Yes.
a full circle story. Keep
No,
going.
so what had happened is I got off the plane, checked into the hotel, freshened up, and now Albert Yee, 20 years old, is going to be exploring Hong Kong for the first time solo. But when I pressed that button, the elevator door button, um, it opened up, and here's Rose Chung, the Rose Chung that I know, the Rose Chung that I met in Chien Tan. And it's like, wow, Rose, what brings you to Hong Kong? And she said, I think she said she was visiting relatives, and I
No,
was
I
doing.
wasn't. No, I
I
didn't have a
forgot.
relative. It was just sort of like friends who went on the trip before says, "Hey, if you're going to Taiwan, you should just go to Hong Kong as well because you know, it's not going to cost you more." So I went to Hong Kong. I was just following what, prior study tour friends told me.
Did you have an agenda though in Hong
No,
Kong,
no
Rose?
agenda. Mm-mm, not at all.
Okay, so then
By the
I
way, I
had
also did the same thing.
I
Mhm.
invited Rose for tea or refreshments, and she accepted, and then that's when we started
Dating.
dating. Yeah,
Oh, so you started dating in Hong Kong. Okay.
yeah,
So,
but the glory is that when that elevator door opened, the girl that I've had the hots for in Taiwan, I never really approached. And it's like, oh my goodness, Rose Chung is in the elevator by herself. And I only have seconds to respond, to react.
elevator pitch. You have a 1 minute elevator pitch to impress her and get her
I
to
know.
invest in
He's really
you.
good with that, huh? Isn't he?
You know
And it
what?
worked. And it worked.
There's something about you two and elevators. I mean, the
Yes.
story that's to be told here has got to be centered around elevators.
Yes, it is, because that's how my nephew met Rose in Vancouver. It was also through an elevator, you know. And
So then you started dating, and then what happened? So she had said in her first story that you guys dated for a year and a half and then split amicably.
yes,
So how did you did the
yes.
long distance thing? One was in San Francisco, one was in Milwaukee. Were you in Milwaukee at the time?
No,
No,
no.
You're from
Chicago.
Milwaukee.
I
Oh,
was living in Chicago at the time, back in the 80s.
that's
I
that where you're
moved.
from?
Yes, I grew up in Chicago, Chinatown.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, and that's why your nephew must have had some leadership role in Chinatown that led
Yes,
him to this conference where she, oh my gosh,
correct,
this whole
correct.
story and how all the pieces came together from
Yes,
the very beginning is
yes.
just incredible. It's really an incredible story. Okay, so
I
then
I believe it's destiny, because
Yuanfen.
it's
In
it's too good
Mandarin,
to
we
be
say Yuanfen.
it's too good to be true. I mean, you couldn't script anything like this, you
No,
know,
you could not.
not at all.
This is going to be a movie. This is going to be a movie. Okay. And
Yeah,
I want credits. I want to be
yes,
in the credits.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Thanks to Christine for filming us at the Grand Bay Hotel. She whipped out her camera. All right. So tell me just a little bit about, I mean, you can tell me all you want. This wasn't necessarily, I wasn't planning. Okay. So let me back up a little bit and sort of talk to you about why I'm inviting you to this Zoom meeting. Okay. Um, it wasn't intended to be an interview of the two of you because I do want to do that for our podcast. But if you guys have the time and interest, I'm very open to doing it now. But my main thing is first, I wanted to check in with you both to see how you're feeling about all the attention that's happening. And you have to, as I said to Rose the first time we talked on the phone, I'm like, Rose, in Mandarin, we have a saying that says, 你的行李要准备. You have to be ready for this. Something big is about to happen. And I told her, remember, Rose? The first thing I said was, get ready to go on Good Morning America. And I wasn't kidding. It's just a
No,
matter of time.
I just don't believe it, but
You know what? It may not be this month. It may not be this year, but this is one, like I said, this is one of those stories. It's such a feel good story, especially, let's be frank here, so your age range. At some point, people give up and say, this could never happen to me. My days are over. I'm just going to hang out with my girlfriends and do, play mahjong and go on trips together. I mean, you guys, your story, like I mentioned the first time I met the two of you together, you're giving people hope. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is check in with you both and make sure how are you feeling? Because this organization is very distributed, as you know, and I have built another similar organization. Actually, it was much bigger. Okay. It's worldwide, up to 19 cities. And so when you're running a virtual organization, communication is extraordinarily important. You don't have group fights in a chat thread with everybody. If you have an issue, you have a question, you have a concern, you pick up the phone, you have a Zoom call, you talk it out, unless you're able to get together in person. And I have to emphasize that because we had an incident recently it was an unfortunate incident because people didn't understand the importance of being sensitive to the way we're set up. We're not together in the same room. And there are many people involved at various levels, some who know exactly what's going on and some who are brand new. So when you're communicating together in a group, people have to be mature about it. If you're upset, you have a right to be upset. You call the person you're upset with and you tell them you're upset. Talk it out. Don't be blasting people. Anyway, I'm sorry, I don't want to go there, but what I'm doing right now is I'm checking in with the two of you to make sure. I want to know how you're feeling because Rose had posted on Facebook that she was overwhelmed. She wasn't expecting this attention. And when I read that, I got a little bit worried. I'm like, oh my God, Rose is overwhelmed. I need to talk to her and make sure to check in with her, make sure I called you, right, Rose? And I'm like, okay, tell me how you're feeling. And she was like, no, I'm fine. Because I'm like, why is she overwhelmed? She was Miss Chinatown. She ran the pageant for so long, and she's giving awards every other. I feel like every other day I turn on Facebook, Rose is getting an award. You know what I mean? So so I was a little confused when she was like, I'm feeling overwhelmed. So I just wanted to touch base. I want to touch base with you both and see how you're feeling now. And then I want to talk to you about how if you're open to certain going forward, there's certain things we can do with the story to help this Chien Tan to help to raise awareness that we do not want it to be demolished. Okay, that's only if you're open to it. If you don't want to go there, you'd be like, no, I just want to stick to my little story and I'm ready to go on Good Morning America to talk about how much I'm in love with Rose. Okay, we can do that too. But obviously, I do, I need to ask the two of you if you'd be willing to help us out in a very simple way. So I want to talk to you about what I have in mind. And I think you'll like it. Like I'm quite good at delegating, let's just say, delegating tasks. I'm really good at reading people. I can see when someone's very busy and I can only give them a little bit. I can see when someone's super passionate and they're ready to roll their sleeves and I can give them a big project and I know they're going to do a good job. With the two of you, I'll talk to you about my idea as we go into this conversation, but let's start. So how does that sound to you? Can we move in that direction? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So check in. How are you feeling where was you start? Because you're the one who said you're overwhelmed. So why don't you elaborate on that? Like what happened? Like what led you to, did you say you didn't mean to call me? It was an accident?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It was, I accidentally hit, I just accidentally hit your number. I forgot now. It was like 2 days ago. I forgot. And I accidentally gave you a call.
Rose, you made me panic because I was busy and I didn't know what was happening. Then when I checked later, I'm like, oh no, Rose called me. I missed
No,
the
it
call.
wasn't
I'm calling
anything
back right
though.
away.
No, it was, yeah.
So I
It was
called.
just totally by accident. It was so early in the morning, remember?
I'm up really early.
Yeah,
I'm
so
up.
that's why
I'm up
it
really
was so
late.
early in the morning. So that's why when I had the conversation with you, I just like woke up too. So that was like an early accidental, call.
A butt
It
dial.
wasn't
A butt
anything.
dial.
But what I meant was being overwhelmed, of course, I've done all these other stuff, but when it comes to I again, my private life, right? My love life, that's just like really weird. You don't think about it. You're going to be telling the whole world about it. So that was kind of overwhelmed, kind of, when people send me messages and say congratulations about it, I'm just not used to it. That's all.
So
So
what
it wasn't
was
anything.
happening? So this is what happened for those who don't know is that when I called her back and I was expecting her to ask me all kinds of other stuff, but when she's like, can you tell me how many views that thing? And she's like, I'm like, why? Because it had already been a week and I had already not thought about it. I mean, it was a sweet story. Of course it's in my mind, but life goes on. And I figured, when she asked me, okay, how many people saw that video? I'm thinking a couple hundred. And so I was like, hey, Rose, let me check for you right now. In fact, let me check for you right now. And, I need reading glasses. I'm almost 60 myself. I need reading glasses. I didn't have it on me. And I look at my camera. I'm looking at my phone and I'm like, wait a minute. And then I can't see it. You remember? I was like,
Yeah,
I
right.
stopped. I couldn't talk. I was like, Rose, it's 3,300. This is not a couple of hundred. This is 3,300. I was like, I think unless I'm reading this wrong, it's 3,300. So that's when she's like, so then I guess I think what you meant was that lots of people were calling you. Is that what was
No,
happening?
they just texted me, congratulations.
These are just your friends that are
Yeah,
seeing.
right. Uh-huh. They're just like my friends. Yeah.
And are you still getting those calls right now from people like Angela Payne?
Feeling far between, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. Do you want to know the numbers right now?
Sure.
Okay, sit down for this, okay? The second one that I posted when you and I talked that morning, that has gotten 1,600 views alone. 1,600 views. Okay?
That post.
Just that post. The
Okay.
follow-up post of us talking to each other in the morning. All right. That doesn't include how many times it's been shared on other people's accounts. But the original video, the two of you sharing your story, sorry, let me get there real quick. You know, Facebook is still kind of new to me. I'm
Yeah.
learning so much about Facebook. Oh my gosh, Facebook is so powerful. It is insanity what it can do. I mean, you hear about like entire countries mobilizing to, for some mission. And okay, here we go. Okay. So the original video on Facebook now has 4,910 views.
4,000 what?
4,910 views.
Okay. Uh, oh, okay.
Okay. And you can see, I'll show you this. It's interesting, the demographics. Look at the age and gender of the people. Facebook breaks it all down for you.
Oh my God. So what's the age?
Can you see this?
Uh, could you see it, Albert? Shoot.
I
Because
can
we're on
send
our
you.
phone.
Okay, I'll read it to you. 34.6% are 65 plus.
A lot of our peers.
Oh, really? All right.
Well, we're 65. I'm 68.
60% are women, 38% are men. Between the ages of 45 and 54 is 22.8%. And between 55 and 64 is 20%. That's my category. And then other is 22.7. So basically from 45 to 65 plus is about 80% of your viewers.
Wow.
That's very telling because that actually informs us if we really want to take this publicity and really roll with it. This informs us of what kind of media platforms we would want to pitch we'll talk about pitch ideas and PR and stuff like that separately, okay? Countries. Now this is no surprise. 88% from the US, 6% from Canada, 2% from Taiwan, and there's other. Isn't that interesting? And
Yeah,
then
we need to increase the numbers in Taiwan because that Chien Tan's there.
we'll get there. If the three of us, okay, so I had also invited Alan Wong to this call. He couldn't make it. He was going to call in because he could do it audio. He was driving, Alan, ABC7.
Sure,
Alan.
for sure.
You must be good friends with him, right?
No, I'm acquainted with him because I always
Yeah.
see him at the Happy Free. He used to do it all the time. Yeah,
He did
the
all
gala.
the Happy Free news coverage. I know him from that because he was always there to talk to us. He was our MC for a lot of our events.
But he didn't go to Taiwan though, huh? He didn't.
His sister did.
Oh.
Andrew Yang's brother did. The connections are unbelievable. So Albert, just for your background information, I don't know how much Rose has told you, but so Rose and I never crossed paths. I've never lived in San Francisco. And in fact, I don't know San Francisco. Whenever I drive in there, I have to tell myself, okay, Christine, you can do this. It's driving through the city is a whole nother thing, right? It's not LA, but it's its own thing. And apparently, I didn't know who Rose was. I was living in Taiwan, working in Taiwan for 8 years. And then when I moved here, this was my first time living here. So I'm from the East Coast. After the Love Boat, I moved back to Taiwan, and then I was in Taiwan for a long time, and then I moved to the West Coast. Okay, I was not going to go back to the East Coast. Once you get a taste of the West Coast, you don't leave the West Coast. Okay, so and then people started telling me because we're starting to talk about alumni events, and they're like, "Do you know Rose Chung? She like ran Love Boat alumni events for like 10 years. She had the full support of OCAC, and they gave her money, and she did like huge." So actually, Rose, can you just tell me more about that? I don't know anything else. That's all I know. I just know that you ran events. Did you run it for that long, for 10 years? Like, what did you do?
There's this this guy named Zhang Jinghang, Zhang Jinghang, and then I think his job was to connect with the young people in San Francisco Chinatown, and that was his job. And for
Wait,
some
I'm sorry.
reason,
He's with government. He's OCAC or something.
I
Who is
think
he?
he must be OCAC. Yeah,
Okay.
OCAC. Yeah. So I got $10,000 a year to do activities. So I did 3 events a year. One was camping, one was annual dinner, and then one picnic. So I did 3 events a year, and also we participated in the Double Ten Parade. And also, like before people left from San Francisco to go on their Taiwan study tour, we gave a little introduction to prepare them, yeah.
Oh
So
my
so that's what we
God, that's
did.
amazing. That's amazing. Wow, how things have changed. We are having a hard time just getting a penny because
Uh-huh.
OCAC's budget got cut, but that's a different thing. So anyway,
Yeah,
but
I think it's kind of political and stuff like that too. But so we used to have like a New Year's Eve party, and it came to the point where I want to enjoy the New Year's Eve party and then planning a New Year's party for other people too. So then I did pass the baton to someone else to do, and then it was just sort of like, okay, 10 years is enough, and you know. So that was that, and I think another group was coming on too. I think is it Perry Cito's group? You don't know who
I
Perry
don't know who
Cito is? Oh,
Perry
okay.
Sito? No, who is
Yeah.
that? Love Boat
His,
person?
yeah, Love Boat person. He's in that movie that Valerie So did. He did a lot of interviews. Did you see that Love Boat movie that Valerie
Yes,
So?
yes,
And
yes.
he was interviewed a lot. And then what
You
did they
mean
have?
You mean Pierre Wu?
Oh yeah, Pierre Wu. I'm so sorry. No, yeah, right. Perry Cito went on the tour with me, but it's Pierre Wu. Definitely the name is Pierre Wu. And then
Okay.
didn't they have the M Society as well? Didn't they
Yes.
create the M Society? That was from Love Boat and stuff. So, that was the next generation. So I don't know if they got that funding thereafter or not.
I see. Okay, wow,
Mhm.
that's incredible. Now, do you still have so did you have emails at the do you have people's contacts still? Like if we wanted to do a big media blast, do you have outreach to them? No more.
No, I don't. Mm-mm.
How did you contact them?
Oh, before when I did it that time? Oh, we just
Yeah.
got no, at that time we just got the yearbooks of about the 5 years before and after me or something like that. So we just sent a snail mail to everyone.
Snail mail. You
Well,
organize these things through snail mail?
hello, that's in like 1985. They have no email.
What about a phone call? You did everything by mail? Oh
Hello, remember long distance calls cost a fortune?
Oh my God. Again, this is going to be a movie. It's going to be a freaking movie. Okay. So, um, so I didn't know about Rose. I moved to the Bay Area in 2002. And a couple of years later, I saw a job description for this organization called San Francisco Hep B Free. Do you know about that, Albert? Did she tell you about that? She's been
No.
awarded. Basically, it was a grassroots organization run by three entities. It was the San Francisco Public Health Department. It was the Asian Week Foundation. Asian Week was the big Asian American newspaper out of Chinatown. It was the big paper in the Bay Area that targeted
Yes.
Asian Americans. And
Yes.
then Stanford Liver Center, some
Yeah,
sort of
Dr. So.
Dr.
And his
So,
son
Dr. So,
runs it
yes.
now.
Okay, yeah.
Richard So runs it now. Yes.
Richard So, that's right. One of his triplets runs it now. So I saw this job description from Ted Fang. Ted is from did you ever live in the Bay Area, Albert?
No,
No.
I was living in Chicago at the time.
Okay, but you've had business dealings here, and that's why you have concessions and partnerships with. Okay, so the Fang family is infamous in Chinatown. Florence Fang, James Fang, Ted Fang. These people basically ran Chinatown for many years. The father, I don't remember his name, Rose. You probably know him, but they're newspaper people, and at some point, they took ownership of what's that big paper called? The Examiner?
Examiner. The Examiner.
The Examiner, and there's articles about this on the internet, but the Examiner gave them a buttload of money to take the paper because for some legal reason they needed to separate. There was a legal issue that they had to dump this thing, and so they basically paid the Fang family to take it over. And the Fang family was already in the media business; they were already news people, and
They're at the
so
right place at the right time.
they were at the right place at the right time. But they were also, I mean, I can say this because everybody who knows them knows this. Don't get in their way. They will crush you, every single one of them. They, I'll just speak about Ted because okay, so what happened was I knew Ted because I used to run something called the Oriented Happy Hours. Remember I mentioned that I ran something very
Yes.
similar to this, but it was much bigger. We had like up to at one point we had 45,000, 50,000 members worldwide. I still have all that records, right? Oriented is still active, but we don't do the simultaneous. It's not nearly as huge as it was. Now we just have oriented events whenever I feel like it, basically. But it's like in Taipei, we're having an oriented event on July the 3rd, the day before the Gentile reunion. So I'll talk about that in a minute. But and so I knew Ted because we had many partnerships. We did a lot of joint events with Asian Week. Tamiko, Angela, that whole crew, we know each other. People who are in the community track in the Bay Area. I'm sure the same thing in Chicago, Milwaukee. In the Asian American community, everybody knows each other. There's only a handful of people who are doing all the leadership roles, right?
Yes.
So I saw it, and they were looking for it's like an executive director position. I already forgot the name. A program director. Basically, they were looking for their very first full-time staff. And at that point, I was kind of rolling off of Oriented, just like Rose had to just walk away from some of the not walk away, but move on to the next chapter of her life. I was going through the same thing with Oriented. I had done it for 10 years at that point, probably more than that. And I saw the job description. I'm like, I could do that job with my eyes closed. And so I texted him like, hey, Ted, I'm like, I'd be interested in this job. Now I knew him. We're friends. And so we got together and the job, it was the same, so similar to what I was doing at Oriented. You're the main full-time person. You're coordinating all of the other volunteers. All community organizations are run by volunteers. The engine is based on the power of the volunteers, right? So it's the same thing. We had volunteers from, medical school. We were working with all the hospitals, with all the clinics and, public health, blah, blah, blah. And so the job description said, okay, full-time salary, no benefits, it's an independent contractor position, $65,000. This was in 2009. So I met with him. I'm like, Ted, I can do this job. I can do this job with my eyes closed. And he agreed. And I said, I want double. I want $120,000. And he turned around and met with Janet, the other board member, and came back and said, okay.
And that time, that was pretty good, girl. Wow.
So can I negotiate or can I negotiate?
Yeah, you sure can.
Because I knew.
I told Albert that I said that, Christine is very persuasive. Or did I say that?
Yeah, you said that. You said that on Facebook. But I knew. I mean, I am an INTJ. If you guys are familiar with the Myers-Briggs or whatever, I tested over a 10-year period the same. I'm always an INTJ. And I'm not bragging or anything. I'm just telling you what the results were. I'm not a bragger. Come on. I prefer to be behind. INTJs prefer to be behind the scenes. If you can take care of it, you take care of it. I'm going to go have my pina colada on the beach. I don't want to deal with your mess, okay? INTJs only step in when they see that nobody else can figure it out. That's where if you know of any INTJs, that's how they are. They're not the people that, they are not outgoing people that want to get beat front and center and, have all the business. No, they're the people who are standing in the back, watching everything going on, going, this is a shit show. I got to step in and take care of this because nobody else is doing it right. So women only make up less than 0.02% of all INTJs. I mean, of all the different results, the mixed Breyers results, INTJ women are only 0.02%. And actually, I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of male and female friends that are INTJs. So maybe they're just attracted to each other. But what we are able to do naturally that sets us apart is we can see the big picture. Like we can see the end goal, but we can also see the details to get you there. Most people are one or the other. They can kind of see the big picture, but they can't understand the logistics that are involved, or vice versa. They're so in the weeds that they don't know where they're going. They're just lost in the weeds. They're getting a lot done, but are they moving towards an objective? And so that's why I'm for my business. So I guess I should introduce myself. So I'm Christine. I am one of the co-founders of the Love Boat Alumni Initiative, which really officially started 2 years ago when we had our very first reunion, September 2024. And the other co-chair is Jim Liu. He is one of those love boaters who was so motivated. He was so inspired from the Love Boat that as soon as he graduated from college, he moved back to Taiwan to study Chinese at Shida in Taipei for a year. He just wanted to improve his Chinese. And it wasn't until another 25 years that he moved back to the States.
Wow.
He had a lot of roles in Taipei, multinational companies, startup companies. And then during that time, during the late 1990s, was when all of Asia was just booming. And so easily he was with that crowd of, ABCs and ABTs that started in Taipei and just hopped over to Shanghai and Beijing. And I mean, that's why a lot of love boaters also have a lot of experience in China, working in China, because the opportunities moved in that direction. I mean, China is a massive market, right? And so
Yes.
as people start to understand the Love Boat Alumni Initiative better, and as we do more things, we have more of these meetings, it's going to come out just how connected and influential and powerful this group really is. I mean, I see it from my position because I'm the one, I see all the things that are happening. And I'm just like, constantly, even now, 2 years in, I'm shaking my head all the time, just like, this is really amazing. It's not just that. Okay, that is one component. I'm kind of digressing here, but it's kind of important. It's not just that. It's like there's something about ties to Taiwan. People who are from Taiwan, they're gentle souls compared to like Hong Kong is a bustling city. Everybody's wearing their suits. They're off to the HSBC building to work in finance. I mean, it's a hectic place, right? And people are kind of not stressed out, but like people in Hong Kong are just they're moving, they're hustling. People in China, because of their background and history and the culture, one child policy, everybody has to compete for that next job. There's just not enough resources to go around. And so the culture from people who come from, I'm generalizing, okay? I don't want to stereotype, but they're just, I got to protect my own. I have to go get my assets. I need to go. So you meet people that come here especially if they come over for graduate school, they are tough cookies. Stay away. Don't get on their bad side because they're going to crush you, right? They have to fight for their survival. They have to fight. So they have a fighter attitude, right? People from Taiwan, as you probably know, I mean, I don't. This is just my own sense. It's like they're just more wenro. Wenro just means they're just more sweet, kind, friendly. They just get along with everybody. They're very open-minded, and they just, they've had, for better or for worse, the government that got them here today, all these years from the time of the war, 1949. Actually, it's in that movie, Invisible Nation. Did you guys see Invisible Nation? If you have not seen Invisible Nation, I recommend it to everyone. It was a documentary, one of the best documentaries I've ever seen in general, in general, about how much Taiwan has accomplished from those early years to now. It's the only area that moved from a authoritarian regime to a democratic nation, peacefully. There was no war. There wasn't a takeover. So anyway, Invisible Nation. It's out right now on PBS. They just recently came out and said PBS has picked it up and it's available for free online. So definitely check it out. I think it's only an hour or something, but I learned so much from mine. I don't claim to know a lot about Taiwan history because I'm still learning. I mean, there's so much to know. I did take Chinese classes in college, but at the time, I'm just like, oh my God, this person's name, I can't remember, this journal's name, I can't, like, it's hard for me to remember Chinese names. Because at the time, my Chinese was really terrible. So, I always felt like those Chinese classes just as hard to learn for people who didn't speak Chinese. I'm like, I can't keep up with this. But anyway, so where was I? Why am I telling you this? There's a reason for this. Why am I telling you this about Invisible Nation? Just stop and re-listen to the video. What was I saying?
I'll check it out.
Anyway, it's just but why was I telling you about the movie?
You're talking about how Taiwan is really, the people are so.
Oh yeah, the people. The people are just, you think about it. If they've had peace all these years, and that reflects in society, and they're not competing, they're not trying to kill each other for resources and jobs. So by nature, the culture of Taiwanese people, they're just more they're not in fight or flight mode, at least not now, because they've had years and years of peace and prosperity. And that is reflective of peace. So when we all get together, whether I meet up with you guys or I meet up with the Honolulu alumni or I'm meeting up with the Taipei alumni, there's a common thread amongst us all that I feel that it's not just the career accomplishments that people have made or business, government, community leadership. It's not just that. There's just this sense of camaraderie and support of each other. Like I was invited to the 1976 class reunion a couple of years ago, right? Which of course I was excited to be there. And I got know these people, I went in 1991. So these people are 20 years older than me, 76 and 91. And I don't know anybody there except the person who invited Debbie Liu. She invited me. She's very active with LBAI. She does a lot for us. I show up, I swear to you, people treated me like their little Mei, their little sister. And I felt like they were my big sisters and big brothers. I wasn't expecting that. I thought I was just coming to a Love Boat reunion, right? But everybody, she introduced me to everybody and everybody made me feel so welcome. And we immediately got into conversation. And I feel that way every single time I'm in a Love Boat, a room of Love Boat people. Doesn't matter what the age is, whether they're older or younger. There's just a certain, it's the culture, it's the background, highly educated people. You get in a room full of highly educated people, you have some great conversations, you know what I mean? And it was this sense of family. Because what brought us to the Love Boat to begin with is our parents signed us up. They cared about the next generation to stay in touch with their roots and their culture and their language, right? Any parent, just like my parents and our parents, they had their reasons for sending us. They didn't just say, you can do whatever you want this summer. They're like, you're going to Taiwan for 6 weeks. And a lot of people didn't even want to go. They didn't know what it was, right? Scroll forward 20, 30 years, and now I'm the parent. And what am I doing with my son? We're going to Taiwan this summer and you're going to camp whether you like it or not. But he's too young. Even if the Love Boat program exists, now he's still too young. So I'm signing him up for Chinese classes, culture classes, every summer that I can just, COVID obviously threw everything off, but I'm not the only one. I'm not special. I'm very common. I'm not a tiger mom. What I say to my son, in fact, tiger moms scare me. I mean, I've got some friends that are tiger moms and they start talking about what they're doing and they're signing up their kids for all kinds of classes. I'm like, I'm sorry, you're giving me a headache. I need to lie down. I can't be part of this conversation. What I say to my son is, just don't fail. That's all I'm asking you. Just don't fail. I want you to have a good time. I want you to enjoy yourself. I want you to enjoy learning. I want you to have a good time with your friends. If you fail and we had to keep you back a year, then that's another problem. And I don't want that problem. But that's all I say to him, right? So what I'm saying is I'm not a tiger mom going, you're Chinese. You need to Chinese class. Chinese Saturday classes, we're signing up. I'm not like that, I did, though. I took the time. I'm into a Chinese immersion program. I take him back for the summers. I have taken him back to see my parents every summer since he was a baby because I want them to have a good relationship. Again, this is family. This is the concept of family that is so innate to the Chinese culture. We all know that. I'm speaking to the choir, I'm sure, but I guess I'm talking about this because of the people who are going to watch this later. That does not end with our generation. We are doing the same for our children. We want that. That's why we want the love boat to come back, right? So I think our older generation, like I know my mom, she's always telling me, "I honey, but don't. You don't understand. Your Chinese is not good. You don't understand what's going on with Taiwan politics." I have to sit there and take it. Because I can't argue with her. It's true. Well, Chinese is not that good. I don't really know what's going on in Taiwan. I don't understand the news. But gosh dang it, I want my child to speak Chinese. I want him to know his culture. I want him to be friends with other people in our community. And it is important. That is why we're all here. So I've talked about this in other meetings, but I'm sorry. Okay, so let me stop there. That's me. That's where I am. So let's go back to us, your story. Okay, so just one more question about your love story before we talk about where we're going to go with this, okay? All those years, who decided that you're going to go your separate ways? And when you did go your separate ways, did the two of you follow each other? Like Albert, did you
No,
know what Rose was doing? And Rose, did you know what Albert was doing? What happened?
no, we were. She had traveled to Chicago. I traveled to Milwaukee within those 1.5, 2 years, and we just, I was young. I wasn't. Um,
I feel
I
like
wasn't.
I feel like a confession is coming up.
No, no, no. We've had a lot of confessions in our conversations within the last 6 weeks. I've told Rose everything about what's happened to me in the last 46 years since we've been apart. Um, I was sick. I was sick in the hospital with a seizure about 4 years ago, and I was in the hospital for 6 weeks because I had to learn how to walk again. I was in pretty bad shape. And during those 6 weeks in the hospital, I created a bucket list. And on that bucket list was Rose. And what I wished would someday happen is um, I could just contact her and just say,
This is making me cry.
um, Rose, I'm sure you're doing well in life. I just want to take this moment to thank you for being a part of my life, being a part of my journey. The times that we share together will always be cherished. It meant a lot to me. You were my first love. Um, and that was it. That would be, if I could just say those few words to her, I would be very content to move along in life. But my nephew was in Vancouver. I had told when my nephew was a teenager, when he called me and said, "Uncle Albert, I have a girlfriend." And I was so excited for him and I congratulated him. And I said, if that's the case, it's time for us to talk. So he was like not only a nephew to me, but he was like a son to me because I don't have any sons. I have three daughters. And I told him, I showed him, I explained to him how to court girls, be a gentleman, um, open the door, protect your girlfriend, all the things you need to learn, all the things you need to know. And what's happened with him now? He's 45 years old, or he's in his 40s. Um, he remembers that name Rose Chung because I had told him about Rose Chung and my first love, and obviously he remembered the name. And when they introduced each other in the elevator, he put the connection together. And there was a conversation where he asked Rose, "Have you ever been to Chicago?" Or Rose had mentioned she's been to Chicago many many years ago, and she used to have a boyfriend by the name of Albert Yee, and that was it. That's when Spencer got excited and called me right away and told me that, "Uncle Albert, I think I met your Rose Chung." I go, Are you sure? Because there could be many Rose Chungs in San Francisco. And
No,
I'll be
Albert, that's not it. He called you and asked you, who do you think I met, or something like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Guess who
yes,
I met in the
yes,
elevator?
that's what he said.
Yes,
That's what
and
you
then
told us.
yes, and then the first thing I said to him was Rose Chung. Why did I say Rose Chung? I don't know.
I know why.
Well, Rose Chung has always
No,
she's
no,
always been in my
you manifested this. When you wrote that down in your bucket list, I'm a
yes.
big manifester. I really believe that you put something in your brain and the universe will start to conspire to help you.
I agree
You
a hundred
caused that.
percent.
You made that happen.
I made that happen. I agree with that 100%.
That's why
100%.
her name came out of your mouth when Spencer said, "Guess who I met?" You said Rose Chung.
One guess, it was 100% correct. And he didn't understand it either. He goes, Uncle Albert, I'm in Vancouver, not San Francisco. I go, yeah, I don't know. It just happened, man. Her name just came out, and I'll be very honest with you. I've thought about Rose Chung many times in my life during my these 46 years, and I just didn't have the courage to reach out to her on Facebook or anything, because I'm thinking, she's probably married, happily married, with children or whatever, whatever. I just didn't have the courage to reach out to her, and I'm just so glad that my nephew was in Vancouver that same weekend with her, and my world has flipped. Um, it's amazing uh, what's happened in my life for the last 6 7 weeks, and Um, and it's just the beginning. It's not going to end yet. Um, we have a lot of plans together, and
Do you have plans to go to Taipei on July 4th?
unfortunately, I have a commitment on July 4th that I can't get out of in my business. But
Why
it's
don't you show them the first video I took of you two and ask them if they could excuse you this time?
the problem is that it's the 250th
I'm
anniversary.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yes,
25th,
it's real.
200.
Oh yeah, it's the 250th anniversary birthday of America.
Yeah, so they're making a big deal out of it, and it's hard for me to. I'll be more happy to travel to Taipei with Rose anytime. You know, I yeah I yeah
Okay. Okay.
I
Let me the two of you didn't tell me. Okay, the only thing you said in that video was that you somehow called her or asked her. You said, "Hey, I want to take you on a date. Look, you want to
yes.
go traveling with me? We're all over the world. Where did you guys go? Did you go on
No,
this
no, no,
date?"
no, no. We
No,
haven't
no,
been
no, no.
anywhere yet. And he didn't call me up and ask me. After we had our casual conversation, I thought that was the end of it. I had no interest in whatever, but I just know, you have to bring closure and say, hey, it was a nice chat. Next time you come to the Bay Area, we'll get together with our, other Genton friend. So that was it. And then he texted me and offered to, take me on a trip anywhere with no strings attached. So I thought like, oh, well, I'm always waiting for the next vacation. I'm ready for an adventure. My life is not, it's nice, but hey, if he's asking, see what he's up to.
I was so excited when we talked for the first time after 46 years that I didn't want it to end. So then I offered her a trip. You name wherever you want to go in this world, and I'll make arrangements. You know.
So, can I come too? Just kidding. I'm just kidding. um, so,
And where I suggest I said, well, geez, I don't know him. I said, anywhere in the world. I said, how about New York so I could escape if it doesn't work out.
but you do know him. When you know
Now,
someone from those years, during those formative years,
yeah.
that none of us change at heart. We are the same people. So the person you
Christine,
Uh-oh.
Christine, let me share something with you.
Please.
Um, we speak to each other every night for hours until 3, 4 in the morning, my time, and I have to get up early in the morning for projects or meetings or whatever, whatever. Our conversations are so comfortable, um, just catching up with life with both of us. There's still that connection. It's very natural. It's very comfortable. Um, I told Rose this time around, I'm not gonna let you go.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. And Albert, in case you don't realize this, that video I took of the two of you, it comes across 1,000% how comfortable the two of you are. You guys are literally filling each other's sentences, completing each other's sentences, taking turns talking, pointing at that person, pointing at your turn, your turn. You weren't even looking at each other for any kind of like, when it's a new relationship, you're kind of looking at that person for approval, or you're not sure how that. The two of you, honestly, from my perspective, listening, watching the two of you, it seems as though you've been together for a very long time. The
Yes,
level of
I agree.
comfort the level of comfort that you have together is so clear. And I think that like I was telling Rose, I'm like, that story, your story itself is viral worthy. But what really makes it pop is the way that you two treat each other. I mean, it is clear that you have tremendous affection and admiration for each other. That is what touches people. The story is touching, of course. I mean, it's Reader's Digest level, Time Magazine. It's definitely something that's you can just see it exploding in many different mediums. But it's the sentiment that you two have. It's the way you carry yourself, the way you treat each other, the way you talk about each other. You talk about each other as if you really like each other. Most people
No,
don't
we
talk most people don't
no
talk that way about their significant other. You know
no.
what I
It's
mean?
actually it's not that we like each other. It's actually we love each other. We haven't missed a step at all. When I was in San Francisco last weekend, I was only there for 4 days, and wow, we got along so well. Um, it was so comfortable. Um, but what I saw in San Francisco with Rose is that um, I know I can't take her away from San Francisco. She's too important to San Francisco Chinatown community. Um, but
She's
I
she's
told
she's shaking her head. She's like, no, 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 take me away, take me away, Albert.
I the world is much smaller to us now, and I can do whatever I want. That's the best thing in life right now is I control my own destiny, so to speak. And but I am committed to Rose. That I want to be with her for the rest of my life because I think it's mutual. I think
It is
it's
mutual. And
it's
actually,
something.
you know what, Albert, I'm sorry to keep interrupting you, but I do give you time to talk, and then I do have to say something, okay? I think you need to say it a couple more times to her because when she's telling me on the phone, she's like, I don't really know if he really likes me. I'm just like, Rose, what is your problem? Go watch that video again. This guy's head over heels in love with you. So you need to
She
kind
knows
of
that.
reassure her, I guess. Rose has some blind spots here. I'm not sure what's going on, Rose, but
She knows that.
this man adores you. You have to know that. We all know that. We saw that. We saw it for ourselves. So you don't have to believe it. Just believe us. Tell you
Yeah,
that. Okay.
it's like a dream
Okay.
come true
All
for
right. So
me.
I do like to try to keep these meetings for an hour. Okay. And so let me come up with let me uh, introduce to you what I think is a good game plan. Okay. Obviously, if you wanted to, we could easily push this into the stratosphere. And I don't know if you want to do that. And I'm not saying we even should, but it's possible. Okay. We could put our resources together and come up with a plan and say, all right, execution. This is how we're going to do it. And all of a sudden, you guys are going to be on all the networks. You're going to be on all the morning shows. You're going to be on talk radio. You're going to be on podcasts. That is something that you two have to decide if you want to do that. Because it could, if it were me, it'd be fun. I'd be all over it. I'm like, hey, fly me out to New York. I'll do Good Morning America. I'm happy to do that. I want to talk about my man. I'll tell you all how great he is. But it's going to change. It might change your lives, hopefully for the better. But I mean, everyone's going to know who you are. Okay, so you have to kind of think about how far. And by the way, Facebook, on the post that I made, they have this feature called Boost. Okay, I have never pushed that button before because I'm just learning about Facebook myself. But I suspect that it's one of those things where it's like if you push it, you pay for ad dollars. And then it just goes like wildfire all over Facebook, to millions and millions of people. Depends on, now you're talking about an ad campaign, your typical ad campaign. The more money you put into an ad campaign, the more eyeballs you're going to get. Very standard. But I was just, when Rose and I were talking about how many people have organically already viewed the video, and I saw that boost button, I'm just like, oh my God, if she's overwhelmed by now, can you just imagine if I click boost? So. But what I'm telling you too is that is available to us. It's up to the two of you. This is not my story. This is not my experience, right? I'm just the Love Boat Alumni Initiative person who actually wants to ask for your help to help us, get the word out about that we don't want Chien Tan demolished and that we want the Love Boat program to come back, okay? If you're willing to do that, then what my first suggestion is simply this, because in PR, again, this is just one of those, like you said, Albert, you can't, or some one of you, I think, Rose, maybe you said, it's like, you can't make this up all the way down to the elevator, the two elevators that you cannot make this story up. Yes. And right now, with the way the world is going right now, people are craving these human interest, feel good stories. Okay. That's yet another reason is that the times that we're living in right now. I mean, look what happened to the stock market last week or so. That thing is crashing. People are worried. Sentiment is not good. So, this is almost yet another contribution you guys can make to the people out there that are just looking for that special moment, right? I mean, again, the two of you have to think about what you want to do with this because the world is your oyster. You can do nothing with it and just say, hey, that was a fun video that Christine did on Facebook. Or you can say, you know what, we're going to bring joy to the world. We're going to share our story, and bring people along with us. Okay. So you should take the time to think about that, talk about it. You can think about it for a month. You can think about it for 6 months. You can think about it for a year. It could be, maybe you decide 2 years from now that, hey, let's do this. We're bored. We've traveled to every country in the world together. We've done everything together. Now let's do something with this story. Okay. It's timeless. Like I said, it's timeless. So there's no rush as far as your own, what you two wish to do with it, if anything at all. For us at the Love Boat Alumni Initiative, there is a sense of urgency because there have been, so Chien Tan sits on very valuable property. It has political, actually, I posted something on Facebook last night. When you have time, I implore you to listen to those videos because I had a conversation with my uncle who is, you'll see when you listen to it, but he is the right person to have that conversation with because he was able to very clearly articulate what the problem is. All right, there are many problems with the Chien Tan story, and there are many problems with the Love Boat story, and there are many problems with all the political background that's just causing this whole chaos, right? Not pointing fingers at anyone, just explaining that the whole story is very complicated. But that video with my conversation with my uncle, his name is Rex, was such a clear explanation of what is happening. And it'll explain to you what we can do. So in a nutshell, There's battles. There are developers that are proposing to the city government to turn this into a 5, 6 star hotel complex. The city is thinking about maybe turning into a public park. I mean, there's all these ideas going around, and they just said multiple people had submitted. I guess multiple proposals were submitted, and in a rare incident, the votes were tied
Wow.
again.
To what? Votes were tied for what? Either to demolish or
On
not
what to do.
demolish, or
Yes,
which
yes,
project?
on what the future of this love book, the Chien Tan, is going to be. Okay. I'm not going to repeat what I talked about there because I think it's very clear in that video. So please do. I mean, I would even say watch it a couple of times, because if you're able to lend your star power, now you guys are superstars. You're superstars now, and you're going to be superstars to millions of people possibly. If you're willing to lend your star power to help raise the awareness that this is happening, and the people who want to change it or demolish it, or, these are they have the power, they have the influence. These are developers, government, blah blah blah. The people who want to retain it, keep it the way it is, or at least save it from being demolished, they do not have the power. These are like the students that had gone through the program. It's not just Love Boat people. I mean, the Chien Tan is used all year round. It's been for decades and decades and decades. It's a youth activity center. A lot of youth programs run through that building and other buildings that the China Youth Corps owns. Okay. And so they don't have a chance. They don't have a chance. Okay. Here we come. The Love Boat Alumni Initiative, with all the people, all the members, all the influence, all of our backgrounds and connections. Okay. Okay, I have to say this. I have to be very clear about this. Right now, I am speaking from myself. I cannot represent 600 members. We don't even have a official membership right now. We're still too young as an org. We're trying to get there. I'm trying to raise money. And actually, when I get to that point, I'm going to turn to the both of you and ask you, can you help me talk to people, raise money for this? Because ultimately, I need to work for this full time so I can really get this. I have my own business. So, I was telling you, that's where I was going. As an INTJ, I organize homes and offices, mostly homes. It's like the Marie Kondo thing. That's my business. It's called Christine the Organizer. I've been doing it for 12 years now, maybe longer. I've got, I've never had to advertise. My clients come back to me all the time, right? It's like you hire a plumber and you like that plumber, you're going to keep calling that plumber every time there's something wrong with your pipes, right? I'm like the family organizer. Whenever their closets are messed up, or they got to convert a room into a playroom or an office, or they're getting married, they're getting divorced, there's something's happening, they call me. So I've never had to advertise for my business, and I've got all 5 star Yelp reviews. I mean, I feel very fortunate that this comes so easy to me. Like, I can walk into a room of, like, just, it could be like the craziest room, and immediately I can see things floating. I see furniture and all that clutter. It floats in my head, and I know where it goes. And it's so easy for me. It's not even a job. I really truly enjoy what I do, and also because I my clientele are people who are like, by the time you call me and you're willing to pay my rates, because I am at the premium level, they're ready for a change. They're ready to cooperate. They're ready to listen to my suggestions. And also the vast majority of my clients are just wonderful, wonderful people. I've befriended a lot of them. And so as an INTJ, I think everybody who hires a professional organizer, ask them what their Myers-Briggs is, and that'll tell you whether or not they're, I shouldn't say this, but INTJs think that way. So it's helpful, right? But anyway, so back to what we're talking about. Why did I just say that? Why am I telling you that? I can't remember. See, getting older. What can I say? I have conversations that go into a hole, and I don't know how to get myself out of the hole until somebody reminds me, hey, Christine, we're over here.
We're talking back about Chien Tan
Okay,
and
Chien Tan.
the, yeah.
So my argument, okay, we need money to register as a nonprofit, to raise more money so people and companies and organizations can donate money for tax write-off, so that I can work full time. I'm in a position kind of like you, Albert. I can easily say to my clients, listen, I need to take the next 2 years off. I'll take on certain projects if you're desperate. but I'm going to disappear to work on this for a while, and then I'll come back and they'll still call me. Like I'm very lucky in that sense, right? I have no problems with them. I will even recommend them out to other organizers, fellow organizers, because I know that they know that I'm good at what I'm doing. Again, I'm not bragging. It's just I've been doing it for a long time, and I'm an INTJ. It comes so easy for me. It's fun for me, right? And so, what we're saying, what my position is, we're not asking you not to demolish it. That's obviously not what we want to happen, obviously, right? What we're asking you to do is what OCAC, the government agency that ran the Love Boat program, before they terminated this 46-year program that impacted 15,000 to 20,000 people, and that spurned generations of this community, what we described earlier. You should have, please do your due diligence. Commission a third party, unbiased research entity or university to do an impact study. How has Chien Tan impacted? What is its historical significance? What is its society significance? What is its cultural impact? What is its impact to the overseas community? What is its impact to the local community? Do your research before you decide what should happen to this, what I feel is a landmark, a historical landmark of Taiwan. And I say this with the backdrop of Israel's Love Boat program. So Israel has the same thing. They call it Birthright Israel. And last year, they just celebrated their 25th anniversary. And I hate to say this, but they do a much better job than OCAC did with the Love Boat program. In particular, they do the research. They work very closely with this university called Brandeis University. And for years, they produce reports that say, because of Birthright Israel, $2.3 billion, excuse me, $2.3 billion has gone back to the economy. 80% of the students who went through the program feel more closer to their roots, to their culture, even 10 years later. If you go to their website and they highlight it, Birthright Israel Success, just Google those three terms, Birthright Israel Success, and out pops this list of data, okay? That is what we, Love Boat Alumni Initiative, that's one of the things we have three initiatives. We're an initiatives group, right? One is to get organized. We need to find those 15,000, 20,000 people. The records have been destroyed. Nobody knows where the original records are. We have to start from scratch, raise money, create this alumni association, hire people. I mean, we got a long way to go. That's initiative number one. Initiative number two, we want to do the research. I want to know, after 46 years, let's give it some credit. Let's understand the impact of the Love Boat program, you know? And with that data, we can then decide, okay, do we want to relaunch the program? Because now we have proof that it impacted the economy, tourism, kids going back for camp, people wanting to learn Chinese. You know, it's like the impact is massive. But I can only say that because I don't have a publication from Stanford University or the National Taida is the number one school in Taiwan. We want to commission both to do the study because the impact is both in Taiwan and overseas. It's not just Love Boat students is only one component of all the people that went through Chien Tan, okay? It's the most famous program, but many, 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 many other people went through that program, okay? So what I'm saying too, I want to write an open letter using change.org, which is an online petition. And again, I can only write for myself. I'm not representing LBAI. But I speak with some credibility because not only, again, I'm not bragging, I'm just explaining to you the weight from which I come, okay? I am the co-founder of the Love Boat Alumni Initiative. I was the co-founder of what's now the most popular English language website in Taiwan called Formosa, used to be called Oriented. I'm the founder of Oriented.com, that networking group that went worldwide. I used to work, my first job out of college was I worked for the US Taiwan Business Council in Washington, D.C., and I reported to the former ambassador to Taiwan, US Ambassador to Taiwan, David Locks. I have some understanding of US Taiwan relations. His boss was Caspar Weinberger, former Secretary of Defense. And I was so wet behind the ears. My boss, David, used to say this to me all the time. Christine, when you first came to the council, you were so wet behind it. Is this true? I didn't even know who Cap Weinberger is. I'm just like, David would be like, here, can you send these papers to Cap Weinberger? You know, tell him, blah, blah, blah. So I would deliver papers to him like, hey, Cap, how's it going? He's like, I didn't know he was former Secretary of Defense. You know, it wasn't until later, I'm like, oh my God. And so it was through my job at the US Taiwan Business Council that got me connections to get the jobs that I had in Taiwan. Because we were serving the board members, you know, the board members are very important at the council. We're constantly having board meetings. And, you know, when I first joined the council, I thought this was US Taiwan business. I'm interested in the multinational corporations that are doing business in Taiwan. No, their big focus was defense. All the effort went into defense. Of course, if you think about it, you know, it makes sense. So there was a lot of defense companies that we worked with. But, you know, I got to know some of the board members really well, including Anna Chenault. I don't know if you guys know Anna Chenault, but I was working with her, constantly, you know, coordinating with their offices. I know what clothes she wears. She's Miss Purple, you know? So anyway, what am I saying? Eventually I met the general manager of Citibank, and I told him one day I want to move back to Taiwan. You know, I've been here in DC. I graduated from college. I'm here in DC. It's great, but I want to move back to Taiwan because the Love Boat program. You know, I do want to go back there and live. He gave me his card, and he's like, "Hey, next time you're in Taiwan, give me a call. I'll do what I can." One thing led to another, and I got to work for Citibank Taiwan. Okay, that was my launch of my. I worked for many different places in Taiwan, and I also worked for the World Trade Center. I worked for the Taiwan government. I was a foreign editor for 4 years. So again, I'm just saying, I'm going to write this petition, and I have a bit of credibility behind it, and I'm going to use it.
Why can't you represent
LBAI?
LBAI? And yeah.
Because, you know, I thought about this for a long time. First of all, we do not have a formal membership. The only members we have are the people who are hopping into our Facebook group. So I can't, there is no legitimate membership.
You have a website too. Oh, okay.
We do not have a legitimate, when you're a member, it's a contract, right? You pay membership dues, and in return, you get these services from an organization. We're not there yet.
Well, the thing about it, if you wrote it under LBAI, who's going to say, hey, you're not a real organization? I mean, you're going to send it to your network of LBAI.
We're not a real organization, Rose. That's
but
the problem. We're not even registered as a nonprofit.
I know, but change.org requires that you are part of an organization. I mean, that you know, it doesn't matter. You're transparent and saying, not saying like you're a nonprofit or anything. It's just Love Boat Initiative. I just don't see why you couldn't do that.
You can't write a petition as an individual.
Okay. Excuse me, I'll be right back. I have to get my charger. I'm gonna lose power. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
Okay, but Rose, whether or not I write on myself for LBI, we can talk about that. I'm not close to the idea, but I think the other benefit of writing for myself is because imagine, let's just say, you know, Taipei, Taiwanese American professionals, right? Let's say they issued a petition about this. Okay, not everybody wants to support TAP.
Oh.
So they wouldn't sign on to the petition because they don't understand what TAP really is, and they may not want to affiliate with TAP. If it's just an individual, you have many more people who'd be willing to sign on to it because it's clear who they're associating themselves with. I'm not saying TAP alone. I mean, it could be Chinese American professionals in Taiwan. I mean, any organization, it could be NAP. Any organization that issues a petition about something, especially about Chien Tan, other people may be like, well, I'm not a member of NAP. I don't really know what they do. I know it's National Association of Asian American Professionals, but I don't know if I'm going to sign their petition because I'm not you know what I mean? There's a limitation there. So I think, anyway, that is something that we can discuss when we are all together in Taipei. So the big event in Taipei it's from 2 to, did you see the agenda that I sent you to, the itinerary to? It's very simple. July 4th, 2 to 6 p.m. We're all going to be at Chien Tan. The first hour mix and mingle, meet your old friends from 30 years ago that you haven't seen in the Live Oak. It's going to be a lot of fun. The first hour is going to, they're going to be people who are not going to leave. We're going to be like, hey, we're all moving to the next thing. from 2 to 3:30 is mix and mingle. From 3:30 to 4:30 is when we all meet in the room. We're meeting for a family discussion. We have a family problem. Chien Tan, people are proposing for Chien Tan to be demolished. We need to get together as a family and solve this problem. And then at that time,
wouldn't it take more than an hour or?
it will take more than you know what? I love Rose. I didn't finish telling Albert our connection through Happy Free and Chinatown. You know, when I did when I was working there, I was the one who helped to coordinate Who Deserves to Die. We had commercials with the beauty queens. That must have been you. Did they work with you? Was it Ted that worked with you? You see, that was such a big project that we had many
people. Won awards. Yeah, that campaign won awards. Yeah.
It won awards. Now, the thing is, you and I never met through that because Ted was the one who had the relationship with you in Chinatown. But when I thought back, after you and I talked, I was like, oh my God, Rose and I are connected in so many ways. It's really unbelievable. You're like my big sister. I mean, the Love Boat, Happy Free, Chinatown, that whole commercial, that was an amazing commercial. Oh my gosh, I should tell you about the drama. You have no idea what happened the day of the shooting when we filmed. So I guess we can talk about this while we're waiting for Albert. I guess some of the beauty queens. Do I call them beauty queens?
I know who exactly you're talking about.
Do you know what I'm going to say?
Yeah, they didn't want to say like who deserves to die. They couldn't handle it. And I said, in my opinion, I thought like this is a issue about life and death. It's worth coming out to say that message because then it has impact.
Well, yes, several of them protested and say we're going to quit. You know how hard it is to organize a photo shoot, commercial shoot? We're all on site. Everybody's in their outfits. We're ready to film. We're working with day advertising. And one or two of the girls were like, I can't do this. I quit. I was like, oh.
But then they quit, but you still had enough, right?
We were able to make it happen. And the commercial was very successful.
And it was enough. It was enough. I saw, it's just like one or two quitting. It was okay.
You heard about that because you were there.
She told me personally. And I said that, no, I disagreed with her, but
Unbelievable.
No, that was groundbreaking.
On that project.
Christine, that was groundbreaking. And definitely, yeah. Yeah, I thought it was groundbreaking. It was unheard of saying like who deserved to die. It's like, but that was the message and it's award winning and
You know what? This makes me think that we can always call up Vicky.
I'm back.
Hi, we can see you.
Yeah.
But Vicky is retired now, and it's no big deal to call her. She lives really close to where I live, and I'm just like, hey, Vicky, you got to get involved in this project. Use your advertising skills and help us get this thing out if you guys wanted to. Okay, but anyway, so the message is very simple. We're simply saying to the powers. I'm sorry, I'm speaking for myself again, okay? Because I take this very seriously.
But Vicky didn't go to LBAI.
But we don't want to close our doors to people who support us and who can help us with their skills and talents and connections and influence. Sure. Andrew Yang didn't go, but his brother went. Alan Wong didn't go, but his sister went. So we don't want to not take.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So, and also if anybody supports us, we need to welcome that. It doesn't matter who they are, right? So this is where I feel strongly about it because I also have worked on massive projects. Oriented was one of them where I actually really don't know the impact. People tell me, oh, so-and-so got married. They met at Oriented event and, so-and-so got into business together and produced, came up with this huge business idea. And, I also, maybe it is personal. It's just maybe there is some degree of the personal not disappointment, but the story for Oriented has also not yet been closed. This is all making me also realize that once we save Chien Tan and relaunch the program so that our children can go on the Love Boat, then I will go back to Oriented because, it's still there. I still have the trademarks. Everything's still in place. Everything's fine. And I still have the database and everything. I was like, I think I will go back and so do an assessment. But anyway, so we're just telling the people, the ones in power that want to demolish Chien Tan, we're just saying, we're not telling you not to demolish it. What we're asking you to do is what OCAC should have done before they shut down this program. They should have done what Birthright Israel does. Evaluate the impact. Evaluate its value. How did it impact society, culture, history, all of it? You need to have that understanding. When we run events at LBAI, I ask our organizers for a debriefing meeting. They all know. The day after, we need a just short call debriefing meeting to talk about, did we meet our goals? Was the goal to have 50 people show up at our last event? Okay, 10 people showed up. There's a problem. What did we do wrong? What do we need to do next time? Do we have to promote earlier? Do we need to put it on Craigslist, put it on eBay?
How many people attended that last event?
40 to 50.
Oh, good.
And actually, yeah, I talk about that elsewhere too. You can see all of our planning meetings on our official YouTube channel. Like recording all these meetings has been invaluable because so many people, we can share it with so many people. We don't have to repeat ourselves. We can take clips of meaningful parts that, apply to a certain group or a project that we're working on. We can say, hey, listen to this 30-second clip, so that's why I'm like, we are always recording. People don't want to be on recording, that's fine. They can turn off the camera or, they can sit on the side if it's in person, but recording these meetings is just priceless, right? So do take the time. Planning meetings. There are many playlists on our official YouTube channel. The only one that you really need to focus on is the one that says planning meetings. That's when you're learning about everything that's going on, all the problems that we're having, all the challenges that we're having, even working with OCAC. OCAC is a different organization today than it was when they were working with you, Rose. I mean, you were in the golden years. We are working with them after they canceled us. They don't want the Love Boat program. So we're trying to work with them because they created us. So there's a lot of that is discussed in those planning meetings. The other playlist you might want to listen to is called Christine's Missives. And those are short, not necessarily short, but they're videos of me kind of going off on certain situations. I'm like, I'm going into detail about the challenges that we're facing. And I'm doing it on purpose because I want everybody to understand where we need help. Okay. And that's all it is. So Albert, the part you missed is I was simply telling Rose the July 4th reunion at Chien Tan is only for 4 hours. It's from Saturday from 2 to 6. It's broken down into 3 activities. First activity is the social hour. We are going to reconnect with our old friends. The next one is we're meeting in a room. We're getting into a meeting room. We're going to have a family discussion about how we feel about the demolition of the Chien Tan. And we're going to come up with a plan to make our voices heard. Okay?
Okay.
Because
she'll be there.
Because for example, we can say, everybody here, run around the campus and take photos and videos and blast it all over your social media accounts and just make this go crazy on the internet. That's one. 2 is we are inviting the media to come sit in that meeting with us. It's just a meeting. We're having a family meeting. It's not a press conference. It's nothing official. No one has to worry about the politics of it all. We're simply getting together as alumni and counselors to say, okay, we want the powers that be to know that we are asking for an evaluation. We're not asking them to not demolish it because that's a weak argument. Unfortunately, they can just say, well, that's nice. We understand you really like Chien Tan.
And you said the vote is like 50-50.
The vote was tied. And that information is it's on that.
How many voters were there? How many?
I don't know. It's in Chinese. I had it translated in English.
I mean, like you're talking about 50, the total of 50 votes or how many?
I think what matters is that it's the official vote. Right.
Among how many votes were there total? We don't even know.
I don't know those details.
It could have been 50, could have been 10. Huh?
It's in the. I provided the link to the Taipei city government geoengineering department website where they actually posted all the documents for the most recent public hearings for people to get up and voice their opinions about this. Okay, so it's all there. It's all there. In fact, after this call, I will send the 2 of you the exact links so you don't have to go look for it. Okay, but all the information is there. Now, I just want to mention that the public hearing, I was talking to another friend about this. I'm like, have you guys ever been to a public hearing? Do you know what it's about? Basically, you're allowed to voice your opposition without having someone argue with you, tell you you're wrong, fight with you. You're just allowed to say what you want to say, and it goes into the public record. And if 1,000 people in the community are voicing their opinions to the new mall that is being proposed, to be built in the middle of town, well, then the developers need to listen, right? And what I was saying to my friend is like, the fact that Taiwan would allow for public hearings speaks volumes to its democracy. China would never allow a public hearing. You get
Correct.
killed, right? And so I don't appreciate the people who want to demolish Chien Tan, but I do appreciate that the Taipei city government is arranging for due process. At least there's that. In other words, if we can get ourselves organized when we meet. So, Rose, to your point, are we going to be able to get it done in an hour? Absolutely not. But the point is to start the discussion, and at least come up with some steps, some concrete steps that we can all go home and do. Take videos of little Chien Tan and share it all over social media and link to the problem that we're facing here, that we're demanding for an evaluation. That's what we're demanding. Do the research, do your homework, just like we're doing. Every event we do, we evaluate our work. It's one thing if this building was only around for 10 years. It's been around forever. It has a special history. All that information is linked. It's all there on the same page, okay? So that hour, we'll begin the conversation, walk away with some very simple, concrete steps that we can take. The good
But do
thing,
you already have those steps in your mind already that you plan to listen?
I do. Of course I do, Rose. Come on. I'm an INTJ. I think forward, many steps forward, right?
Okay.
But I'm also a big believer in community input and involvement engagement. So I don't want to be the person going, okay, I'm the boss here. I'm going to tell you what to do. You guys just, that never works. Okay, that never works. It's important to mobilize and empower and give people the runway to do what they feel is right. It's important for us to get together and talk about it as a group and get on the same page, right? And we can do that. Again, this is an extremely accomplished, highly educated group of people. We don't have to worry about, actually, that's the fun of it all. People are like, oh my God, Christine, you guys have done so much at the Love Boat. How did you do that? You must be crazy. You must not get, the truth is that it's such a unique community because everybody likes each other. Everybody comes with their talents, skills, and talents. We all have a lot of work experience, and community experience. It's like nothing. It's like Disneyland. I feel like everywhere I turn, every meeting I have, every new alumni that comes in and wants to volunteer and do something. Like right now, I'm working very closely with one of our alumni's daughter. Her name is Alexandra. When I met her, she was 17. Okay, at the 2024 reunion. And Shirley Wu Chan is a 1993 alum, and she's one of those people who's like, how can I help you? How can I help
You
you?
went in 1993?
She went in 1993. Shirley, okay.
Did I meet her last time at the
Yes, you
reunion?
did. Yes, you did. So, she's kind of a reserved person. She's not like me, loud and obnoxious, but reserved people have their place. And she wants to do some. So she came up to me, she's like, hey, I can talk to my daughter. She's kind of interested in film development and, maybe she can help you out with some videos at the reunion. And I'm like, yeah, fine, whatever. I'm really busy. I'm like, that's fine. Anything, if I can help the next generation, I'm happy to do that. So just have her show up and I'll sit down with her and I'll give her some ideas on what she can film, right? So Alexandra shows up. This girl, she's so quiet and reserved. And like, I felt like I was overwhelming her with just my presence, because I'm so loud and sometimes. And so I started to tell her, I started to say, okay, maybe you can film people talking to each other and whatever, but there was so many things going on. This is the hour before the reunion. I'm putting out fires, right? And so eventually, within 2 minutes, I was like, you know what, Alexandra? You're the designer here. You're the imagination person. You do what you think is best. Let me not try and direct you because I'm not a videographer. That's not my area that's not my area. So you go ahead and do it. Okay, so the reunion comes and goes. It was really successful. We had all kinds of guest speakers, including someone from the first Love Boat 1967, Agnes, and surprise guest speaker. She's like in her 70s, 80s now. And she shows up and everyone's like, oh my God, she's from the 1967 group. And then afterwards, the day after, OCAC, Cindy Little tells me, she's like, oh, you know what? If you write a press release, we can post it on the OCAC website. I'm like, what? So like, I thought that when the reunion is over, I can go for a vacation, take a break. No, now I'm like writing a press release about it. And she's like, oh, and you have only 2 days to do it because our policy is, OCC has 13 offices around North America. And if they want to promote the activities they're doing, they've got to submit it to headquarters, their website person within a couple of days. So I'm like, oh my God. So like, I'm like, Alexandra, just give me whatever video you've got. We're going to just stick it into this press release because I got to throw it together. So whatever, we'll just write something and send it in. And so she shows me her raw footage and how she put together. And I said, put it together with the Love Boat, that Love Boat song, the Love Boat thing. You guys, when I looked at that, I almost fell out of my chair. I was like, I go, okay, stop everything. I go, it was so professionally done. And I said, Alexandra, we're going to take a different turn here. We're not going to include, I thought I was going to get some teenager's home video of like, just a reunion of people talking, drinking, whatever. No, this girl, she's got something in her head. She's going to do so well in her career. And so I was like, I want you to go back and I want you to take as much time as you want to make this perfect. Your footage is going to allow me to tell the bigger story of what we're dealing with here, And so she did that. I was like, I'm going to write the press release and we're not going to include your video. It's fine. This is way more important because this is a message. Now we're going to be able to tell the whole story. So if you go back to that 2024 reunion video, the first part of it was like, all the footage from reunion. She did that. And the second half is the storytelling of what happened, who was responsible, and what we want to do at LBAI. We want to relaunch the darn thing, okay? So I collaborated with Alexandra, but I also thought I tortured her because, of course, I'm like, can you change this person? Like, for example, her initial cut was like 4 guys, and then the next scene was another bunch of guys. I'm like, too many guys. You need to mix it up with the girls. We need a balance of girls and guys and girls and guys. Like, no one's going to watch that video. It's all guys. So, it took a little bit of tweaking, right? I had my own, I had some input. That video has opened up so many doors for us, especially with the government officials. The ones that have watched it that I spoke to, because in the middle is a dedication to the original people who started the program. And it's a big gratitude.
At Bernard Mao or something?
It's a thank you wall. It's a thank you wall that says, we are forever indebted to the Taiwan government in 1967 who started this and gave us such a beautiful gift that has impacted our lives, immeasurably. And because the reason why I wanted to put that in there, I think one of my skills is I can hear what people are talking to me about everything. And I absorb it and I think about it. When I'm working out, I think about what they've all said. And so many people have said to me, it's like, gosh, we are so grateful that we got this experience and we want to thank the government somehow, but there is no way to do it. Like, we had this one alumni, I still have the recording of her message. In fact, I just saw her the other day. I'm like, can I share that with people? She called and left a message. This was right after Taiwan had some kind of some sort of disaster, some major disaster. And she called to, and she talks like the 1976er, okay? She's like, I was, Love Boat changed my life and I met so many great friends from it. And I just want to help Taiwan. So if there's some kind of fund, like an earthquake relief fund, I'm happy to donate. Or if you need my help, I can fly back to Taiwan and donate just like listening to this going, oh my God, so many people have expressed that to me that they want, there's no way to say thank you because of course they're all gone. Those people are in their 90s now. This whole thing with Bertrand Mao is a whole surprise that our friend's father is still around and he's alive and kicking and he might come. He's 93 years old. He's the original director general who started the program. We can talk about that separately. But so in the middle of this reunion video is a whole acknowledgement page to say, we as alumni are forever grateful that you gave us this and it impacted us in so many different ways. And we just want to acknowledge that. And I wanted it in this reunion video because it was going to be a permanent statement. And really it's posthumous. What's that term when you're thanking people who aren't around anymore? Posthumous,
Yes.
I thought it was meaningful. I thought it meant something. And I wanted to tell the current I wanted to make the statement for the current people involved or not involved to say, hey, this was something that meant something to a lot of people. Please pay attention to this. We're not going away. If anything,
Yeah.
we're coalescing. We're coming
Well,
together.
okay. Okay.
Okay,
It's
so we're
getting
done.
kind of
It's
late.
a long
Okay,
time.
coming
Okay,
up to 2 hours.
really quickly, just really quickly, before we go to Taiwan, this is what I have in mind. Okay, the whole press media thing, we can talk about that after the summertime when we all get back. But the one thing I think we could do, if you're open to it, is let's have Alan Wong. You know, Alan Wong doesn't work for ABC7 anymore. He does not, he's retired. He doesn't work for a media entity, right? But he does have his own podcast and he has a podcast studio. And in fact, I was talking to him about this, and he's open to my suggestion. He didn't know what I had in mind yet, but he helped us last time. He helped promote us last time because his sister went. But my idea is that why don't the two of you go to his studio? Even if you have to fly in for an hour and fly back out, it's not going to be a long one, but you could have him do an interview of the two of you about your story, the same thing that you told me. But you can use that opportunity to also talk about what our ask is, to simply evaluate Chien Tan before you do something with it, right? We're basically weaving in the issue of Chien Tan into your love story. And because it's Alan, you know Alan, I know Alan. Shoot, maybe I can join you. Maybe we can all three be on his podcast. And it's not formal because he's not working for a media
Well,
institution.
like I've seen a lot of podcasters do things like on Zoom too.
Of course, we can do it on Zoom, but I don't think it's going to get that much traction. Having you two together in person, like when I interviewed you, is going to go much further than
Mhm.
a virtual
Yeah, I
podcast. That's
agree.
all.
I
That's
agree.
all. So, either, I mean, it would take a little bit of coordination because, so the concept is let's just do this one interview with Alan, our friend, who is not part of an official media outlet. It's more of a casual conversation.
What's his podcast? What does he usually talk about?
I
Just
don't, you know what? I don't know the details.
I don't know if it fits his, his usual,
Oh, no,
these
no,
guys
man. He
just
can just do it just to have a recording so we can take the recording and send it all over the place. He doesn't even have to
Oh,
issue on his. We're basically using his skills and talents as a reporter
oh,
to
okay.
talk to the two of you about the story. And then we use that platform for the two of you to start just mentioning about what there's a battle right now. You don't have to go into any details, but just say, we're just simply asking them to do the proper evaluations like Birthright Israel, any kind of, it's pretty simple. And I can talk you through that. But I think that, I don't know where he is. I thought he was in the Midwest, but my other friend said he's in Sacramento. I don't really know, but I don't mind to fly out there and meet you there. Three of us could do it together. Maybe that could be fun, because I was the one who first interviewed the two of you. Or we fly him out. If you guys are going to be in Chicago, are you going to be in Chicago? Is that where you are right now? You're in Milwaukee.
I'm in
Where are
Milwaukee,
you?
Wisconsin.
So Rose is going to see you in the 19th, I think, right?
In Milwaukee, yes.
Milwaukee. Okay. Is it there a
From
direct
the
flight?
19th through
29.
29th.
Is it a direct flight from San Francisco?
It's from San Francisco to Denver, Denver to Milwaukee.
Oh, okay. I don't know if we can pull this off. My thought was, let's all meet Alan in his studio and do this 30-minute recording, or 1 hour at the most. Most is an hour. We don't need more than an hour to tell the story, right? It's a simple story. Oh, overall, your story is simple overall. It's not like a complicated situation. And we're simply asking for the powers that be to evaluate the program before they evaluate Chien Tan before they do anything. So 30 minutes to an hour maximum interview. The three of us could just fly in, do the interview, have lunch together, and fly out. I'm willing to do that if you guys are open to doing that. The other option is I go to where you guys are and we fly him out, but that's a little bit more. He's got the studio all set up. It's better if we go to him.
You're
Or
talking about what date are you talking about?
some day before you and I go to Taiwan. You don't think it's possible?
I don't see that happening. Yeah.
We can
It's
do it
going
when
to
we
be
get
tight.
back. We can do it when we get back. We have all the time in the world to do it, actually.
Right,
But
right.
but 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 we just want to be cognizant of the timing of the the proposals. But it's nothing's going to change. We're only in Taiwan. We'll be back by end of July for sure, and we can plan it then. Why don't we do that?
Where is he
Yeah,
based? Sacramento?
yeah.
Is he? I don't know. Rose, do you know? I don't know where he is. I thought he was in the Midwest, but somebody told me he's in Sacramento. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm sure he's in some major metropolitan area and we can all get to him. So maybe we can arrange it so that Albert, the next time you're in town, we can
Yes.
arrange it with
Well, you
Alan.
know what? I mean, like, there's other people who, who might be able to do it. Like, if you're not thinking, I mean, like for a podcast or interview or something like that. I mean, like, you're looking for someone who's not officially in public.
No, I mean his colleague is still what's her name at ABC 7. Oh my gosh.
Kristen Z.
Yeah, Kristen. Kristen is a very good friend of one of our love voters who posts all the time. Vernon. They're very good friends, and they were at their wedding. I met Kristen at their child's wedding. She was sitting next to me, so we had to come. She's got strong opinions about the Love Boat. She tried to send her kids. Okay, so if you wanted to go on ABC 7, I'm sure Kristen, we can talk to her. That's easy. She already knows the Love Boat. She didn't go on the Love Boat, but she's very familiar with it, and she's got a lot of strong opinions about it because she tried to get her kids to go to it, and she had her issues with it. So we could
Did
either
her kids go?
the current there's a current program that's not the Love Boat program, but it is a summer camp program, and they
In
did not.
Taiwan?
Yes, by OCAC. OCAC still has lots and lots of programs. They just shut down the Love Boat program. Okay, so if you wanted to go the official ABC 7 route, we can talk to Kristen to see if she wants to do a feature on you guys. I don't see why she
No,
wouldn't.
I mean,
To me, that's kind of bigger. Whereas Alan is no longer affiliated with it's more
yeah.
casual. It's just friends talking on a microphone. To me, that's much more. Again, YouTube can take the time, all the time in the world, to decide how far you want to take this. Maybe you don't even want to touch it for a while, and maybe next year or the year after, you'll be like, "Hey, why don't we pitch our story to XYZ media outlet?" You could do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's just talk about
Kristen.
the fact that I'll go there on I'll meet you there in Taiwan. But I think right now, for our story, it's probably after we come back, maybe
Okay,
end of July or something.
yeah, or
You know,
August, yeah.
yeah,
Or maybe we can do it at the Love Boat reunion in September.
yeah,
Because we're inviting Alan. We're inviting all the siblings and parents of alumni to come. And if you come, we can arrange it. That's the detail. We can figure out a time when Albert's
yeah.
in
Maybe that's a good
town.
time. I mean, you could sort of set up a podcast situation anywhere
Yes, we
now.
can.
You don't need a
Yes, we
studio
can.
or something. All these equipment are pretty portable now and stuff like that.
I like it. I like that. What do you think, Albert?
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, I mean September is still too early to say and stuff like that, but we'll decide
Yeah,
that
we
like
have
after
time.
July,
Again, we have
Yeah.
time. The only thing that we have to watch out for is the timing of the demolition proposals. We want
Yeah.
to get one interview. We don't need to do 1,000, just one with Alan or an equivalent of Alan, but I prefer to do Alan because I like him a lot and we're friends. He's friends with us both through Happy Free. It would be ideal to have Alan involved in this. Okay. So that's the only thing is timing. Timing is going to depend on what's happening with we will find out when we're in Taiwan. We'll get a lot more details at Chien Tan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
it.
right.
That's it. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Thank you. So Rose, you and I can talk separately about flying out there together.
Okay, got it. Thanks for your flight
Um,
information. I look forward to being on the same flight with you.
are you gonna get on the same flight?
Yeah, why not? And
Okay.
thank you for offering me to stay with you. That's
Do you want to do
great.
that? Do you want to do
Yeah,
that?
that would work out really great. And
Yeah,
then
because
send
then
me
I can
off to
take
Chien
you
Tan.
the next day before we get in, we relax, have dinner,
I need
chill
that
out.
guidance. I tell you, I don't travel. That's why this is a whole new adventure for
No
me.
worries, no
I was
worries.
saying like,
I will walk you through Taipei, no problem. Then I'll take you to Chien Tan, and then you and I can meet. I can tell. I have a meeting. I actually have a meeting with the director right now. I almost forgot about it. I gotta go.
okay,
But you and
bye.
I can go to Chien Tan and explore that whole area by
Okay.
ourselves. All right,
Thank
bye guys. Thank
you.
you so much.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
Christine.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. Bye bye.
Thank you.